students of class 9. Today we are going to start our first chapter, that is what is democracy, why democracy. This is the chapter from democratic politics for the students of class 9. The first chapter speaks about the definition of democracy. What is democracy? We are going to learn what is democracy. Students, there are many definitions given by different people about the democracy. Like Abraham Lincoln has given the definition of democracy as written in the board. Democracy is the government of the people, by the people, for the people. That is the definition given by Abraham Lincoln. And this definition is widely accepted by the people. Students, when we speak about the democracy, it is a type of government. You have already studied in class 8 about the democracy. It is a type of democracy where the real power lies with the citizen of a country. So we can say indirectly citizens are the ruler, though indirectly. Therefore, the definition says that it is the government of the people, by the people, and for the people. Students, democratic government is mostly accepted and followed by the countries of the world. Today, more than half of the countries of the world follows the democratic government. More than half of the countries of the world have the democratic government. So students, why this democratic government is so popular? To know this, we have to see the different feature of democratic government, the benefits of the democratic government. Before that, to know the benefits of the democratic government, we come to the different feature of the democratic government. Before that, I would like to tell you that democratic government has different forms. For example, the democracy can be direct, and democracy also can be indirect democracy or representative democracy. When I speak about the direct democracy, where people directly come and take the decision. So decision of the government are taken after taking the votes from the people. So people, when before taking any decision, all the people of the country, they vote and then decisions are implemented. So it is the direct democracy when people of the country directly come together and take any decision for the country. Directly democracy is not possible for a big country like India. Therefore, direct democracy is only found in Switzerland, where the population is very less. So, only one example is Switzerland, where direct democracy is practiced by the people. But when we come for the big countries like India, where the population is high different communities lives, it is not possible to follow direct democracy. Therefore, what democracy we have is the indirect democracy. We also called as a representative democracy. Now here people select their representatives, the ministers for the parliament. So people select their representatives known as the ministers, send them to the parliament or the legislative assemblies, and they take the decision on behalf of the people. So almost all the big countries we have a indirect or the parliamentary or the representative democracy. Now, why direct democracy is not possible? There are a few reasons. Number one, direct democracy is not possible for a big country because it is not possible for a large number of people or all the people of the country to come together in one place and take a decision. Number two, in a big country, people may have different occupation, people are engaged in different works, and therefore it is not possible for all the people to give the time and assemble together to take any decisions. Thirdly, it is for a big country, different people may have different opinions about any decisions. So therefore it is not possible to take the decision equally by all the people of the country. Therefore direct democracy is not possible. So the second form of democracy is the representative democracy. As I was speaking, the representative democracy, as we in India we have a representative democracy. In representative democracy, the people of the country selects some representatives or minister by giving votes, and those ministers or representatives, they take the decision on behalf of the people. So that is the representative or the parliamentary form of democracy, because here the parliament functions. Parliament is the group of ministers. Next we are coming to the feature of democracy. The feature, when I say feature of democracy, it is the different specialities of the democracy. So we are looking about the features of democracy. The features of democracy, there are 6 features of democracy, even many more are there. I have written the 6 features of democracy, you can see in the board. The first feature of democracy is final decisions taken by the representatives. As I told you, in direct democracy, the people of the country, they join together and give vote, and by giving vote they take decisions. So all together they directly take the decision for the country. But when we come to the indirect democracy or representative democracy, the first feature is that the final decisions for the country or the rules and regulations or the laws are made by the elected representatives only. The second feature is free and fair election. In democracy, the second specialty or the second feature is that here the free and fair elections. When I say free and fair election, it means all the citizens of the country, they are free to elect and get elected. All the citizens above 18 years are free to give votes and elect their representatives or the ministers, whereas all the citizens above 25 years old have the right to get elected. That means they can also stand in elections to be chosen by the people. So that is free and fair election. When I say free and fair election, it also means when people are free to elect their representatives without any pressure, without any money or muscle power, without using any money or muscle power, when people are free to give their votes and choose their own representative, that is called free and fair election. So democracy has that second feature, that is free and fair election. The third feature of democracy, that is universal suffrage. Universal suffrage is also known as universal adult franchise. That means all adult citizens of the country 18 years and above have the freedom to give vote and choose the representatives for the country. The third thing is freedom of expression. Next thing is freedom of expression. The next feature is that in democracy people are free to give their opinion about the governments and the government policy. People are free to give their opinion. People are free to speak about the government and discuss about the government policies. These things we do not see in dictatorships, because in dictatorship people have no power or freedom to say anything about the government and the working of the government, whereas in democracy we have that freedom. People are free to discuss about the government policies, to give their opinions about the government working, and government listens to the people. Government listens to the decisions, the opinion of the people, and accordingly works. Next feature of the democracy is freedom to form association. Freedom to form political parties. Democratic government gives freedom to form political parties, groups and associations, and that's why we see in our country there are number of political parties every day formed, because here people are free to make their political parties and form different groups, like the students groups, like the lawyers group, doctors groups, movement groups, social groups, pressure groups. This all freedoms are given in the democratic government, whereas dictatorship in dictatorship or in military dictatorship, the freedom of forming any political party, freedom of forming any groups are not allowed. Moving to the next feature, and that is the rule of law. Democracy, law is the highest, and all people are under the law. From government to the common people, all are under the law, and therefore it is the rule of law. In democracy, law prevails. The constitutional laws are the supreme in the country, and all people are under the law. All people are under the constitutional law, even from the government to the common people, and law is equal for everyone. These laws are equal for each and every citizens living in the country. So these are the different features of the democratic government. I hope you understand. The next things we will see in the next class. Till then, watch the videos carefully and try to understand, get the notes and try to solve the questions. Thank you.